The training facility on Nexus Prime was supposed to be the best in the galaxy. At least, that's what they told us when we signed up. 14 species, 100 recruits, 6 months of intensive combat instruction. And somehow, against all probability and common sense, the humans were winning every single exercise without breaking a sweat. That I'm Krell, by the way. Important species. 7 feet tall, natural armor plating, strength enough to bend steel. My people have been warriors for 3,000 years. We invented half the combat techniques being taught in this facility. So you can imagine my complete and utter bewilderment when a 5'6" human named Rita absolutely demolished me in hand-to-hand combat yesterday. Took her maybe 8 seconds. I'm still finding bruises in places I didn't know could bruise. It doesn't make sense, my bunkmate Threx muttered, his 4 eyes blinking in confused patterns. They're small, fragile. Their bones break if you look at them wrong. How? We were sitting in the observation deck, watching the current exercise. A hostage rescue simulation. The other teams, composed of Vortons, Klendari, and Sixian warriors, were strategizing, planning entry points, discussing suppression fire, and flanking maneuvers. The human team, all 5 of them, were just standing there, waiting. One of them, a guy named Marcus, was actually yawning. The buzzer sounded. What happened next lasted 47 seconds. I know because I checked the timestamp 3 times, convinced the recording was malfunctioning. The humans didn't breach, they simply walked through the front entrance. No stealth, no tactics. The defending team opened fire, training rounds that would register as hits on their suits. But the humans moved, well, they moved like water avoiding stones. Not dodging, exactly. More like they knew where every shot would be before it was fired. Marcus caught one defender's rifle mid-swing, used the momentum to spin the poor Klendari into his teammate, then casually tapped both on their helmets. Tagged. Out. Rita went high, literally ran up a wall, kicked off, and took out 3 defenders before gravity remembered she existed. 47 seconds. All hostages secured. 0 human casualties. The other teams hadn't even made it through their entry points yet. Okay, Threx said slowly. Okay, we need answers. That's how we ended up cornering Instructor Valen after the session. Valen was a decorated veteran, fought in the Kresh Rebellion, lost an arm to a plasma grenade, and kept fighting. She scared most recruits speechless. But we needed to know. Instructor, I began carefully. We have questions about human combat performance. Valen's expression, already stern, somehow became harder. Do you now? They're good, Threx added quickly. Too good. What aren't you telling us about human military capabilities? For a long moment, Valen just stared at us. Then she sighed, a sound like air escaping a dying ship. Follow me. Both of you. Don't speak. Don't ask questions until I tell you to. She led us through corridors I'd never seen before, deeper into the facility. Security checkpoints appeared every 50 meters, each requiring retinal scans and code clearances. Finally, we reached a door marked with symbols I recognized as military classification markers. Serious ones. The room beyond was small, dimmed lighting, a single display screen on the wall. What you're about to see is classified at the highest levels, Valen said quietly. Most species have signed treaties agreeing never to discuss this information publicly. The humans requested it. Not because they're proud, because they're ashamed. She activated the screen. A document appeared, dated roughly 60 Earth years prior. The header read, Geneva Conventions, Updated Galactic Warfare Addendum. Before humans joined the galactic community, Valen continued, they fought each other. For thousands of years. Resources, territory, religion, pride. They got very, very good at killing. The screen changed. Images now. Battlefields. Cities reduced to rubble. Weapons I couldn't identify, their effects horrifying. They developed rules, Valen said. Guidelines for war. Because without them, they were afraid they'd exterminate themselves. Think about that. They had to create regulations to prevent their own extinction through combat excellence. Threx made a choking sound. When they met us, joined the Galactic Alliance, they saw how we fought. Honor duels. Territorial skirmishes. Clean, organized combat with clear objectives and minimal casualties. Valen's voice dropped lower. And they laughed. Not out of cruelty. Out of relief. Because our worst wars, our most devastating conflicts, were what they called minor peacekeeping operations. The screen showed another document. A list. It scrolled for what felt like minutes. Weapons. Tactics. Strategic methodologies. Each entry marked with the same notation. Prohibited for human military use. Galactic Treaty 2891. They agreed to restrictions, Valance said. Voluntarily. Because if they fought at full capability, there wouldn't be a war. There'd be an extinction event. I couldn't breathe properly. The exercise today, they were holding back, Valen interrupted. Significantly. The silence in that room felt heavy enough to crush planets. I kept staring at the screen, at that endless list of prohibited tactics, and my brain simply refused to process it. Holding back, Threx repeated, his voice hollow. They were holding back. Valen nodded slowly. Rita? The one who beat you, Krell? She's a pastry chef. Civilian background. Joined the academy because she thought it would be fun. Marcus was a schoolteacher before this. None of them have military families. No combat heritage. This is recreational for them. My legs felt weak. I sat down without asking permission. But how? Training? Genetic modification? Neither. Valen pulled up another file. Humans have something they call muscle memory. Their bodies remember violence. Evolution carved it into their DNA over millions of years. Prey species that became predators, then became something worse. Persistence hunters who could track prey for days without stopping. They're endurance predators, Krell. Do you understand what that means? I did. Every species knew about endurance hunters. They were the stuff of nightmares in evolutionary biology. Species so terrifying, so relentless, that their prey would literally die of exhaustion trying to escape them. They also have adrenaline, Valen continued. Chemical compound. Floods their system during stress. Increases strength, speed, pain tolerance, reaction time. Their bodies chemically enhance themselves for combat automatically. No tech required. The screen changed again. Combat footage now. Human military, actual military, not academy students. A peacekeeping mission on Drax 7, 15 years ago. Raiders had taken a colony, hostages numbering in the thousands. The Galactic Response Team estimated 3 weeks to plan a safe extraction. The humans went in after 6 hours. What I watched wasn't combat. It was art. Terrifying, brutal, efficient art. They moved through the facility like smoke, like shadows with teeth. The Raiders never stood a chance. Didn't even slow the humans down. Hostages secured in 40 minutes. 0 casualties among the captives. The Raiders, well, they survived. Mostly. The humans had rules about that too. Notice something? Valen asked that I did. They're not enjoying it. Exactly. Valen froze the footage on a human soldier's face. Eyes flat. Expression neutral. Professional. They don't glory in combat. Don't celebrate victories with the enthusiasm we do. Because they've seen where that road leads. They've walked it. To the very end. And they decided, collectively as a species, never again. Threx stood up, paced, sat back down. So when we asked them about tactics, strategies, why they don't boast. They can't, Valen said simply. The information is classified because if other species knew the full extent of human combat capability, there would be panic. Fear. Probably violence born from that fear. The humans understood this. So they requested the classification themselves. They train with us, hold back significantly, and pretend they're just naturally talented. But why join the academy at all? I asked. Why not just stay separate? Valen smiled for the first time, though it looked sad. Because isolation doesn't work. They tried that in their own history. Built walls, literal and metaphorical, between their nations. It always ended badly. So now they participate. They join. They make friends. They let us beat them sometimes. Did you notice that? Marcus lost yesterday's navigation exercise. Rita failed the zero-gravity assessment last week. Deliberately. To seem fallible. The pieces clicked together in my head. The Klendari team captain. Jex. He won the leadership challenge last month. Against a human who could have completed the course blindfolded, Valen confirmed. But they let him win. Because Jex needed the confidence. Because building allies is more important than displaying dominance. I thought about every interaction I'd had with the human recruits. The way Marcus always asked about my culture, genuinely interested. How Rita shared her food, strange earth dishes that actually tasted incredible. The human named Tom who spent 3 hours helping Threx repair his environmental suit, refusing any compensation. They weren't just hiding their combat skills. They were actively trying to be friends. So what do we do with this information? Threx asked quietly. Valen shut down the screen. The room felt darker without it. You do what the humans do. You keep the secret. You train alongside them. You learn what they're willing to teach. And you remember that the scariest thing in the galaxy isn't their capacity for violence. It's their capacity for restraint. Any species can destroy, but choosing not to, when you absolutely could, when it would be easier, when every instinct screams for it. She paused. That's what makes them truly dangerous and truly valuable. We left the room in silence. The corridors seemed different now, knowing what I knew. When we reached the main training area, the human team was there, Marcus showing a group of Sixian recruits how to properly fall without injury. Rita was laughing at something, that genuine laugh that made everyone around her smile. They looked so normal, so harmless that I caught Marcus's eye. He nodded, friendly, completely casual, like he hadn't been classified as a galactic-level threat just by existing, like he was just another recruit trying to make it through training. Maybe that was the most human thing of all, the ability to be a monster and a friend simultaneously, to carry unimaginable capacity for destruction while choosing, every single day, to bake bread instead, to teach children, to make pastries. Hey Krell, Rita called out. You okay? You look like you've seen a ghost. I managed to smile. Just tired. Long day. Tell me about it, she laughed. Want to grab food? I'm starving. They've got that Vorten dish you like in the cafeteria. And just like that, we walked to dinner together. A warrior species and a pastry chef. Allies. Friends. While the galaxy's most dangerous secret stayed exactly where the humans wanted it. Classified. So what did you think? Did this story surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sci-fi story, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing science fiction stories every week. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.